All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 154-pound division where a big announcement has been made or information has been leaked by Mike Coppinger that we're going to get a big fight at 154. Unfortunately, for people that have been saying that it will be Terence Crawford and Tszyu, it is not. It is Keith Thurman and Tszyu. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, boxing in 2024 is starting to take form, and we've got a good fight coming up in the first fight of the PBC deal with Amazon, and it is going to be on March 30th in Las Vegas, and a fight between Tszyu, the WBO 154-pound champion, and former unified champion at 147 pounds, Keith one-time Thurman. Now, before I get into the details of it and what this means in the welterweight and the 154-pound division, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. Absolutely makes a big difference to the channel. And thank you to everybody that supports and the super thanks. Again, huge difference to the channel. I like this. I am very surprised by it, but I like this. Tszyu, who is one of the best up-and-coming fighters in boxing, I think, for sure. At 154 pounds, he is the WBO champion. He has beaten guys like Tony. He has beaten Tony Harrison. Can't remember the last. I think it was Tony Harrison. May have been the last guy that he fought, but he's fought some pretty decent names. As of late, beat Goshaw, another stalwart at 154 pounds, and is now the WBO champion became the WBO champion after they stripped Jermell Charlo of that title because he moved up and fought Canelo Alvarez. Solid fighter, son of Costa Tszyu, who was a former 140-pound great fighter during the, I think that was during the early 2000s, maybe late 1990s, early 2000s. Fought around the same time as Zab Judah, beat Zab Judah, fought Ricky Hatton, lost to Ricky Hatton. Many people at the time thought he was somebody that could potentially beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. I don't think that would have happened for him, but solid fighter. Now his son Tim is a world champion and look real good. Now fighting Keith Thurman coming off of a 2-year layoff, that's a good look for both of these guys. Number one, Keith Thurman is showing he's very serious about jumping out there and fighting for a title, and that title is available for him if he got the opportunity. He says he's going to take it. Now, I know how some people are going to interpret it, that he's basically, cashing out against a guy like Tszyu, but I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think that Keith Thurman is legitimately in this fight, that this is a good fight between the two. I've never really seen anybody really beat Keith Thurman, and that includes the fight that he had with Manny Pacquiao when Manny Pacquiao knocked him down. But for the most part, though, man, Keith Thurman was doing his thing in that fight, and I think that there is an argument that he beat Manny Pacquiao if he had not been knocked down. But he got knocked down, and Manny Pacquiao won the fight. He came back. He beat Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios winds up being in line for the 147-pound WBC title. So, there's no reason for Keith Thurman not to be able to perform against Tszyu, other than the amount of time that he's had off and the amount of activity that Tszyu himself has had. But shoot, I'll take it, man. Now, it does put to rest certain paths for Terence Crawford, for Errol Spence. Immediate path for Terence Crawford, really, because many people were saying that he was going to get the Tszyu fight. And my thought on that was, I don't know, man. It seems like the PBC would give a fight to a PBC fighter, give Tszyu a fight with a PBC fighter versus somebody that they don't know whether or not they're going to fight with them with that belt in the next fight or not. I don't necessarily think that the PBC has anything personal against Terence Crawford, but the way that the business operates in boxing, that if a organization has a bunch of fighters there and they've got limited fight dates, they're going to be looking to fill the fight dates with fighters, with all of their fighters, and don't really need to go out to other people to get that done. And I think a lot of what people perceive as ducking in boxing is at least in part due to that. And I think that people oversimplify things when they just act as if any fight can be made at any time between any two people, just as long as the boxers say that they want it, and magically it's going to be there for the boxers the very next week. I just don't think that that's a very realistic view of what's going on. And that's what I said about Terence Crawford. So Tszyu fighting Keith Thurman. Number one, Keith Thurman may actually beat him. Don't lunch on Keith Thurman in that fight. So what happens then? If he fights in March, what do you have? Basically April 1st. You have May, June, July, right? May, June, July, August, September. You may actually have Terence Crawford out until September if he's waiting on Tszyu. So there's probably going to be a fight. Who's he going to fight before that? Right? It's not going to be Jermell Charlo more than likely. And I suspect that because they've got all of these fights lined up for the PBC and they've got 12 of them to go. So now between 12 and 14, let's go the outside and say 14. You got one in April. So basically April 1st. So that leaves you that's the fourth month of the year. That allows you 12 and 8. They're going to be stacking those cards up pretty soon, man. And he may wind up not being on that bill. I think that he should probably do exactly what his option is, which is to fight Errol Spence. And that's why now with this made, I'm even more certain that fight is going to be made between Errol and Terence. And a lot of that conversation that's going on about it not happening is posturing, and that Errol pretty much knew when he was going to be fighting. And that's why he got that the retina surgery, because we're 2 months out from the fight card that is being announced. And Errol had his surgery 2 weeks ago. That seems like that fits that path right there. But look, man, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.